Domonique, that's a long list for the Cowboys there. Do they have a culture problem?
Well, I think I'll answer your question with a question. The question is for whom? I think maybe the fans might think so, or maybe some of us in the media might think so, but Jerry Jones sets that culture. And if you remember, not too long ago, there are pictures of Jerry Jones floating around in buses with strippers and things like that. So that's been the culture of the Cowboys. When they were winning those Super Bowls in the past, they were not shy about getting into trouble. That's what the Cowboys are. And as long as Jerry Jones is the owner of the Cowboys and continues to exhibit the culture that he has, that's what the culture is going to be. And as long as they continue to win, as they have in recent history, I don't think Jerry Jones is going to have a problem with it.
But why is this acceptable, though? If this was any other team, remember the Bengals? They used to have this. We go, oh, there was the Bengals. And we ripped them because they had a culture of guys who had off-the-field incidents. They've changed that. What if this was the Browns? We will be talking about how dysfunctional the Browns are and how many guys they got on our team. Look at what they've done off the field. But it's because the Dallas Cowboys were able to just sweep this under the rug. It's because
That's
of the
why
start.
my question is for whom? I don't think it is a problem for Jerry Jones.
Because what I'm saying is that if this was any other team, we would be talking about it as if this was a big, big problem. Because to me, it is a problem. It is a problem what's going on in Dallas. But everybody else wants to care more about, will Tony Romo unretire? What's next for Dak? Is Zeke better than Emmitt Smith? That's what people care about when they should be talking about all the things that have happened. We saw that list, but there's still a Randy Gregory who's suspended for a year, who Jerry Jones drafted knowing this guy was probably going to have a problem in the National Football League. These are I can understand if it was one incident, maybe two or three, but when you look at that whole list of incidents, and we're supposed to just sweep over that and say, oh, don't worry about it. Jerry Jones sets that culture.
I mean, how would you explain the culture, though?
Acceptable, though? That's unacceptable for that culture.
How would you explain the culture? Just saying it's a problem is one thing, but just saying, like, what is the culture that you would explain? You're saying they have a violent or a criminal culture? Because 3 of those things were PEDs, which I wouldn't necessarily put in the same category as committing crimes in public. So what is the culture that you're saying that the Cowboys have?
Well, I think, listen, I feel like we use this whole culture thing, but it's only relevant to how you're winning. If you're not winning, then all of a sudden everyone wants to talk about the culture. If the Dallas Cowboys flame out this year and these type of things keep popping up, then that's when the whole culture situation is going to come about. Dallas Cowboys came out 13-3 season. I think if you talk to fans, at the end of the day, fans all care about winning. They don't really. This Ezekiel Elliott stuff, yes, it's news now, but at the end of the day, if Zeke comes back and Zeke starts rushing the football, and he's a leader, leading rusher in the National Football League again this season, you think a lot of fans are going to really talk about these things that's happened? These things that's happened before? Listen, when the Dallas Cowboys were winning Super Bowls back in the 90s, they had it 10 times worse as far as what you're talking about, quote-unquote, culture.
Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin.
They were winning championships, but my whole point is, when you're winning, you know this, Kurt, when you're winning football games, it doesn't matter.
But I just want to get what you're saying, that if you're winning games, it's okay to be a knucklehead. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I'm winning. I can go
listen.
I can go drive 100 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. I can go to a club and get into an incident.
No, what I'm talking about.
But they're winning.
No, but
right? You just said winning cures that. That's what you said.
And you know that, Kurt. You know that. How many times a team taking chances on questionable character guys? Why? Because they bring something to the table as far as helping their teams win football games. Because at the end of the day, fans care about winning. They want their team to win football games and ultimately win a Super Bowl. If a guy who has a checkered past can help them do that, they're all in on it.
And Kirk, I think what Domonique was saying is, who is it okay with? It's okay with Jerry Jones.
And that's what I'm saying. Why is that acceptable?
I mean, it's okay with him because I think the culture there's multiple facets to the culture. There's an in-the-building culture, and then there's the outside-the-building culture. And you can't argue with the results of the culture inside the building. And I would imagine that many of the fans, including Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, is hesitant to try to influence any of the culture because they think they might lose what they have inside the building. So whether it's okay with me or whether it's okay with you, Kurt, it's easy for us with no buy-in for the team from the outside to yell about how they need to act act right. They need to do this. They need to do that. But it's different when you're actually involved in that situation. I'm not saying that I condone or support any of the things that they've done, but I'm saying that the culture is an all-encompassing thing, and you can't just say, oh, we're going to go in and I'm going to change the culture, and all of a sudden these guys are going to act right, and they're going to win more games when they start acting right. It's an oversimplification, Kurt.
No, but I think that Jerry Jones needs to step up and say, this is unacceptable. I don't.
Why?
I don't.
Why?
I don't.
It's not unacceptable.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones does not think it's
This
unacceptable.
is something new for the Cowboys.
Hold on.
They've lived in this state for years
I'm
and
saying,
years.
look at it though.
During the next break,
yes.
During the next break, you're gonna give me your cell phone number, and I'm gonna text you some pictures so you can see that these things are out there. That Jerry Jones has repeatedly behaved in this way. So why you keep thinking that it's a problem?
But why is
it's not a problem for him.
You keep saying that what he's done, but why is that acceptable? This man is supposed to represent the National Football League. His team is supposed to represent. But when I look at all the incidents, that's not acceptable to me. If
So
keep saying that's just Jerry being Jerry, is that okay? Is that what you're saying though? Because Jerry Jones lets it happen. It's okay. This man is about to get inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year.
And we're saying that what
his team does is okay. That's not okay with me.
It's easy for you to grandstand on TV about this, but in actuality, the culture is not a problem because no one's going to change it. Who's going to tell Jerry Jones to change the culture? He's in charge. He runs that team. He sets the culture. And when it becomes a problem is when someone else can forcibly change them and they can't.
I think it was about a decade ago that I was first exposed to all of this when I read Jeff Pearlman's book, Boys Will Be Boys.
Yeah.
And it was like, this stuff really happened.
You know what?
They've been waiting since the 90s to get back to the Super Bowl. So it's a
Social media
reason.
also plays a role in this. All of a sudden, we know a lot more about what these guys are up to than we ever knew beforehand.